It's Randy Chafee of Source One Marketing, and today we're doing something a little unique. We are going to have a simulcast with Building Wins Live and also the YouTube channel, Let's Chat with Randy Chafee. And I'm just honored and blessed to have on some friends of mine from the Wisconsin Frame Builders Association, the WFBA. And we're going to talk everything about their show coming up here in cold, cold February. So welcome, my friends, and thank you for being on.
Good morning.
Look at that.
Hey, Randy.
So, how you doing? Everybody good?
Great.
Awesome. Yep. Awesome. So, Reuben, let's start with you, who is the president of the association. Reuben, raise your hand so everybody knows who you are. Jay Whitesides, who, I should say, Reuben is with Forest Construction in Wisconsin. And we got Jay Whitesides up there in the corner, who's with Marco Industry, national sales manager for, what are you kind of like some big shot name. You're a national accounts guy. That's what you are. Big shot. Yeah. We just go with big shot. Really big shot. Well, big shot in a small world. Anyway, then Morgan, who is the membership director of the WFBA and also with the NFBA and a whole bunch of other FBAs. And and then we got Alicia Cahill down here with Everlast Roofing and also on the board of directors. So thank you for joining us. Reuben, let's kick us off. Apparently we got a show coming up here in February. Tell us about it a little bit.
We do. We have our annual conference for the Wisconsin Frame Builders Association this year. And it's just the annual conference we have with different vendors and speakers and construction companies that can all get together in the industry and learn a thing or two from each other about different products and different ways of building, I guess. And for me, this is all new. I'm being on the board here, going on my second year. So I'm learning each time also.
Perfect. Well, that sounds like it's in good hands, and I know you guys have been active for years out there. I attended a show or two years and years and years ago now. It's been a few years, so I'm looking forward to spending some time with you all next month if it gets above 20 degrees. I already told Jay that's my limit, 20 degrees, and I'm not going to be there. But anyway, I'll be there. I'm just kidding. So Jay Whitesides, Marco Industries on the board of directors. Tell us what's going on, buddy. What do you see? What are you excited about the show or what?
I am indeed. The best part of the show for me is the vendor show where we have our vendor members showcase some of their new products. And, it's a great time to get together and chat with old friends. The biggest thing, this is my third stint on the board, in various positions throughout the post frame industry. My favorite part of the show is just meeting some of the legacy members. We have members that have been part of the organization since the beginning, and even the retired guys will come in and attend this event, and even our golf outing in the summer. So that's one of my favorite things about it.
Well, I think that's probably with all associations, as many I'm involved in several, and that's probably the favorite part. Is the overall networking, and it's the ability for the vendors and the builders to really network. And I think it's a little more comfort level, right? I think Alicia's having a little technical difficulty. Are you with us yet or no?
I can hear you great. I
Perfect.
can't hear anybody else.
Well, they got nothing important to say anyways. Don't worry about it.
Good. Okay.
So Alicia, you're with Everlast Roofing. So obviously you're there as a vendor at the show. That's how I attend all shows, is typically as a vendor. So we come from a different side than Reuben would, who's a builder, a contractor. What do you see as the advantage of an association and of the show from your perspective as an exhibitor?
Oh, it definitely is the visibility. It gets you out there and among the people who are using these products on a daily basis, or the people that you want to sell these products to. We're working on growing our builder group, so I would encourage all of those out there to come and take advantage of this, and having your vendors right there in front of you to ask the important questions that you want to ask and learn about the new products that are out there and available for your use.
Yeah, well said. And it made me think when Jay was talking and you was talking, Alicia, up to you, Morgan, as the membership director. One of the things that I find as a exhibitor at shows is that it's a calmer, quieter, easier way network with your builder friends out there, because it's not such a salesy thing, right? We're not making a sales call. I'm not coming into your office and saying, hey, Reuben, I want to sell you some stuff, right? We're just together as experts, as professionals, as people in the industry, and it's more conversational. Does that make sense to you? Is that how you see it?
Yeah, the state shows are really important to get to know the reps who are in your area. And it gives the builders an opportunity to, you don't have to go far. You may not have to stay overnight. You can get there quickly within a day. It's not an expensive show, so that makes it really easy to get to, but it's the right people at the right place. So.
Exactly. And Reuben, I think I would love your thoughts on this, but I know from a rep standpoint, and Jay and Alicia, we're coming from the vendor side. We all think about the importance as a vendor in meeting the builder customer and the value of that. But there's a real value, I think, with the builders to be able to meet us and develop a relationship with us, to be able to call up a Jay or Alicia or Randy or whatever and say, hey, we met at the show last year. I've got this issue. Is there a way you can help me? Do you know somebody that can help me? I mean, do you see that as a builder as a plus?
I do. You can only do so much online searching. It's like getting insurance quotes. When you actually need a person to help you, to have an insurance agent face to face to meet you on site, and it's low pressure. They're not knocking on your doors. You're going to them. You're learning about new products that you may not know exist yet. And not only with the vendors, but meeting with other builders and, sharing strategies, sharing some different safety protocols, ideas on how to, hire and maintain employment. And these are people from all over the state. So you may or may not be in direct competition with them, but it's good competition. And it's nice having a kind of a relationship with other builders, also a healthy relationship, even with competitors. You can learn a lot from each other, and it's good for the customer. It's good for us too.
It is. And, it made me think about some friends of mine in Michigan that are builders, contractors, and they used to come with a big draw to the NFBA every year, was because they met one time a group of a builder out in New Jersey or someplace along the Eastern Shore, and they became friends, went and had some brewskis, and then every year they look forward to getting together and spending 3-4 days in whatever city, talking to their friends that they met, and then they'd call them during the year, like you said, and say, hey, I run into this issue. What would you do? Or do you know anybody that could help us? So those are the things that you don't get unless you get together at an association, meetup, whatever that looks like.
I see the exact same thing. It's one of those opportunities that we have that you wouldn't normally.
Yeah.
To discuss any issues you might have, any opportunities you might have, and to do that in a different setting than you would on a regular basis.
Exactly. So let's talk about the show itself. Jay, let's go back to you and see if you can remember this. This is a test. When is the show and where's it at? Look at he's looking at his notes. See, look at him. Look at him. He doesn't.
Yeah, I have to.
I understand.
We will have the show on Tuesday night after the tours. So we set up the tours to be industry based. This year we'll be going to Wausau Supply with their LP Siding Diamond Coat Pre-Finish division. I've been part of this tour prior to me being on the board through when I worked at a lumberyard. It's state of the art. It's amazing, the technology and the product they put out. So we're pretty excited about that tour. And being in Wisconsin, we do have to stop by a distillery, and that is also a tour stop. So, so we get on the bus in the morning, we do our tour stops, and then once we all get back, we gotta get settled in, and then we start the vendor show. So we have everything in the same room. The vendors, around the outside, showing new products. The best part about the show that I see is, just talking with longtime customers. And if they have a question, the tips and installation tricks, like you said, Randy, and working with the vendors that we have in the WFBA is probably one of the best group that I've worked with. Everybody is very, very friendly and willing to help each other. My direct competition, I talk with those guys quite a bit. And if they grow, we grow, and so does the organization.
Well said. And and I want to come back to Reuben on something, but Alicia, one thing that I think about at these, and Jay just touched on it, is even whether, and Reuben, you touched on it with builder competitors, but as us as exhibitors, when you're at these type of shows, you're there with your competitors. Sometimes you're set up directly next to your competitors, but the Jay just hit on is none of us can handle all the business. Period. And so I think knowing the competitors, being friendly with the competitors, and being in a position to learn from each other where you can, not talking about sharing trade secrets and stuff like that, because A, we don't want to do that, and B, we're bound by the FTA or somebody from not doing that anyway, so we would never do that. But the point is, you can still help each other. What's going on in the industry? What's happening in industry? What are you seeing in the industry? And I think that's a positive, Alicia, don't you? And as opposed to a negative.
Well, absolutely. I mean, all of those are the same educational opportunities for us as it is for the builders.
Right.
It's important that we know what's out there, what's available. Even in a conversation where they might not be the right fit for someone, I've had those same people guide them back to me because we have an amicable relationship and we know that we can all coexist in this industry together.
Well, and the thing is was that old saying, high tides raise all ships, right? I would rather have,
right.
Even if I didn't get more than, let's say I had 15% of the market and I never grew more than 15% of the market, but if the market grew 50%, 15% of 50% more is kind of a whole bunch more, right? And it's just, I think if we all grow this thing together, as opposed, as I've always often said with, well, and you're in the metal roofing world, and I'm in one of the many things I do is fasteners, and I don't want any fastener to fail. I don't want my competitor, because that looks bad on all of us, right? You don't want any metal panel to fail. That looks bad on all of us. Jay, we do Marco together. We don't want anybody's ventilation to fail or underlayment to fail, because that looks bad for the whole industry. And then people like Reuben, who are the end customers, going, I don't know, maybe I don't want to use any of this stuff because I've heard all these issues, all these problems. So, I think that's a pretty key factor in keeping that communication and friendliness open. Don't you agree?
I do.
That was to you, Jay.
Oh,
talk to me, Jay.
Agree. I definitely agree. I can't be like Randy. I can't sell everything, right? We don't manufacture every part of that building. But you know what? I might have a vendor, that is competition. Bob from MWI, for example. If I don't have a product, I can go, I don't have it, but that gentleman over there, supplies that product. And that works vice versa. That's worked a few different times throughout my stint in the Frame Builders Association. So yeah, it's working well together. And the nice thing is we all respect each other, and we're all friends first. We are the first to shake hands and have a beer after golf or after the show, and we talk about the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, and an interesting thing with that is, like all industries, really, all industries are small industries when you get right down to it, and you never know. A lot of people stay within an industry, but they move sometimes for whatever reason. So whoever you're talking to today, building a relationship with, might be your employer, might be your employee, might be a customer of yours. They may be a vendor for you. So it's silly to, I saw a statement the other day. A lot of times people talk about, you should burn bridges. I saw a statement the other day that I like, and I won't get it exact probably, but I don't burn bridges because I might want to walk back across it someday. Right. And I felt like that was a good statement because, what's today is not necessarily tomorrow. And there's no reason to burn those bridges and to not keep those relationships. But Reuben, it made me think, and I don't want to forget about it. From your standpoint, not only as the president of the association, but just as a builder, what would you like to see from us vendors when we come to these events? What are we missing? What do we need to bring to the table besides what we've already talked about? Is there something that we need to do better for you as a builder and your builder friends?
In my experience, no. I think, getting in today's digital world, being able to be face-to-face, human contact, shaking hands, not just a table full of, buttons and stickers and koozies, But just talking about the product, talking about even some loose current events and what's going on in that industry, not just exactly what they provide, but as a whole in the industry. And when you're in that group setting, as you all kind of step away from those tables and you're kind of all sitting at the same table eating dinner or listening to the speakers, and you're all talking about the business, you learn a lot from each other just doing that. And it works out well for the vendors, I think, too. I mean, you meet new builders, and we're hoping to get more builders in because they're kind of the backbone of this industry. They're the ones who we're trying to help the most, and so that's one of our big focuses is getting more people like me to come in there and join and just be active. We have members, but they're inactive, so trying to draw them in also.
Well, and that's a great point. And Morgan, we work together on several different places, BFBA and NFBA, and as the membership part of it, I think that's really vitally important that we get the builders to understand that as an association and as vendors, we need to hear from you. We want to hear what you need, what you want, because these associations are for you, right? They're for the builder. At the end of the day, what we do is to serve the builder, right? We serve at their pleasure, so to speak. And so let's talk about that for a minute from an association perspective.
Sure. Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Randy. The whole point of the Wisconsin Frame Building Association is to serve builders in Wisconsin. So anything we can do to help, from day-to-day business to learning. There's lots of education that goes through. We have 2 main events each year. The thing about the post frame industry is it is the nicest people you will ever meet, and bar none. And it's a close-knit community, but it's also an inclusive community. And in that, like Alicia and Jay were saying, there's competitors out there, but it's not necessarily competitive in that there is room for everyone. And so being that we serve the builder, if we don't know what it is you need, we can't provide it. So we ask that our members be active and tell us what you need, tell us what you're seeing, because that's what we want to know in order to help you with your business. Right.
Well, and Jay and Alicia, this will probably come back more to you, but I think things have changed, especially with, as Reuben said, with the internet. I mean, let's face it, you can find almost anything you want to find online today. If you're not, we talk about visibility, and it really does equal opportunity. But if we used to be manufacturers tended, and I've like been doing this forever, we just made stuff and just said, this is what you need to buy because we made it. And I think today's world, that's not, rightfully so, not, in my opinion, not accepted by the builder community as much anymore. It's like, we need to make what it is you want. We need to make what it is that you find in the field to make your life better, easier, or more profitable, right? And the only way, and this would be my challenge to the builders, Reuben and all your builder friends, is we should ask those questions as vendors, but if we don't, you offer that up. Tell us what it is that you need. Tell us what it's like in a perfect world, Randy, Jay, Alicia, if you made this goofy widget, I would buy the ton out of it because, and here's why, right? Because you know what? We probably could go figure out how to buy that or make that goofy widget, but as smart as Jay and Alicia are, me, not so much, we may not just dream up that you need that widget, right? Jay, Alicia, does that make any sense at all? Or did I just say we should have people talk to us and we don't really want them to?
I think you're absolutely right in that. Isn't it always easier when you know someone's goals to be able to service them with the proper needs? I mean, it's about finding the solution. And if you don't have those conversations, you don't ask those questions, how are you going to know?
Exactly. And if I could say as a builder to other builders, this is a kind of event like this isn't just for managers and for salespeople in the building industry. It's for your crews. I like to bring some foremen, some crewmen, and when they are working with these products day in and day out, they don't tell me everything, but they might say, hey, Alicia, I like this, but I really don't like this. Do you have something else? Because this is what we see in the field every day, and we don't like it. So having some, bringing your builders, your physical builders with you to these events, the golf outing and this to mingle with, those are the ones who are using your products every day. So I encourage builders to bring some of your employees, treat them, take them to the hotel, take them to restaurants too. It's kind of a mini perk in the industry also.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point, Reuben. And Jay, I seen you nodding on that one. I know you well. You agree with that one, don't you?
Oh, 100%. And to add on what Reuben was saying earlier, and even Randy, it's nice to look at the end user, the guy putting that product down or installing that product. I used to be that guy. I used to wear a tool apron, and feedback from those guys is important. It may be just as simple as saying, "Hey, we really like this product. Is there any way you can make it in this size?" And if they tell you why, or change this part of it, and if they tell you why it makes sense, that gives us information to go back to the plant and say, "This is what the end users prefer, or this is what they're looking for. Can we do it? Yes or no?" So the face-to-face, just like Reuben said, is just as important as anything else.
It is. So, Morgan, we're going to be February 3rd. Where are we going to be at? Give us the times. I know you got all that stuff there because you're like really smart. So,
well, yeah, that's my job.
It is.
So, annual conference is this February. We're going to be all day on the 3rd, and then we're going to do a farewell breakfast the morning of the 4th. Registration opens at 6:30. We're going to have breakfast along with registration. The bus will depart at 7:30 for our first tour at the Wausau Supply, like Jay mentioned. Then we're going to have a lunch on the bus and then go on to the second tour at Knowlton House Distillery, which will be fantastic. Then we move on to the dealer showcase and speakers, which our second speaker, Randy, is going to be you. We're very excited to have you. Yep. I think you'll be talking about this fantastic.
I'm going to talk about that right there.
Yep. So anyone who hasn't had yes, there you go, Alicia. Yep. Anyone who hasn't had a chance to read it, pick that up, and Randy will be there to kind of pick his brain. We're also going to have Paul Burke with nationally speaking, really, really smart guy, 30 years in the industry. He knows marketing, he knows leadership, so he's a great resource for education. And then we'll finish up that night with dinner and prizes. So what's not to like? Got to get out there.
What's not to like? My question is, after the bourbon tour, will anybody even know what we've talked about? That gives me a lot of room. I don't even need to know anything.
Well,
nobody will notice.
Randy, to be honest with you, after that bourbon tour, I start making a lot more sense.
Well, after the bourbon tour, you'll make a lot more sense to me. So there we are. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I'm really looking. First place, thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to being there. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of Wisconsin folks. Are we going to have cheese curds? There's two questions. Are there going to be cheese curds available? That's important to me.
Of course.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. And secondarily, what time on Tuesday is the golf outing?
Golf outing's not till summer. We don't golf in the winter.
Oh.
It's going to be 20 degrees.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't golf ever. When I do go out with a bag, I don't call it golf because I got a letter from the United States Golf Association once said that I have to refrain, a cease and desist from referring to myself as a golfer.
Yeah.
So I don't, but I do ride around and I drive a mean cart and smoke a cigar. And
Hey, Randy, real quick.
Yes.
We do have a handful of sponsorships still available. So if you go to our website, Wisconsin Frame Builders Association.org, we would love to have any sponsors that are willing to do that. There's a handful left, so go check them out.
Perfect. Beautiful. Look at her doing her job. I love that. Perfect. Okay. Well, listen, guys. Thank you, Reuben, Alicia, Jay. Anything else that you want to pop in before we get out of here, other than be there?
No. Randy, and thanks for having us on. Yeah, and we look forward to you speaking. I really talked you up. So.
Oh God. There we go. I guess I better practice. Maybe I should go back and read my own book just in case.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I read that the other day. And you'll get if you read the book. And I love to talk about being visible. And the other day I did something to somebody. And I started talking about. I was reading it and I says, "Damn, that sounds pretty good." Be there. Don't miss it. It's a great show. I'm very familiar with these folks that are on the podcast today, and believe me, associations are important. These kind of things are important. And just make sure you show up, say hi, and network and enjoy. That's it. That's good, right? That's all we need.
Yep.
That's
See you
it.
February 3rd.
February 3rd. Let's do it. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Be there, everybody. Say hi when you get there. Cheers.
See you then.